the audio. So, are we ready? Okay.
If your business is not successfully using the internet to market your products or services, then you need to listen to this message very carefully. It doesn't matter if your business is local, regional, nationwide, or global. It doesn't matter whether you sell products or services online or have a physical location where your customers come to you.
That's no good.
You've got to understand how to leverage.
Alright, well, we'll play that. Clearly I pulled the wrong piece. Alright, so, well then, that solves that problem too. So, that video's on my website, in case anybody wants to go see it afterwards. So, there we go. And I don't think you guys could probably hear it anyway, so.
Kinda.
Alright, so we will just jump into the next portion of our program. So, today's presentation that we're going to talk about is how video can boost your business. And we do a lot of video marketing for our clients. And I like this group because I know you guys are really tech savvy. So I know everybody knows what YouTube is and probably most of the other video sharing sites as well. But there's so much more than what can be done with video than what people realize. And a lot of people have a misconception about how to use video in conjunction with their marketing campaigns, or whether it's for branding, or whether it's showing somebody how to do something, whether it's to gain a tribe, or what that is. So we're going to cover why you should use video, what you should put in your videos, where you should put your videos, the benefits of video, how you can build relationships with your video, and how you can get more business through video. So why should you use video? Well, the videos have the ability to be found in search results, and YouTube is actually the #2 search engine now. So has anybody in here ever searched inside YouTube to find something? I do it constantly. I remember when I needed to change my garbage disposal, and I thought, I have no idea how to change a garbage disposal, so I went to YouTube to look at how to change a garbage disposal, and then it made me realize I still wasn't going to change my garbage disposal. I was going to have somebody else do it for me. So it's great to be able to look inside YouTube. On a daily basis, I do that, not just for business, but for personal reasons as well. For how-to, it's great. So you have content that you can share on your website, your blog posts, social media posts, email, and of course the potential to go viral. Now, when you're using your videos on your social media posts, that's the #1 type of social media posts that get shared. More than anything else, it's video. So that's something to really keep in mind. On your website, if you have a video, you have 30 to 40% more conversions than you do if you have a website that doesn't have video. So it'll really help you stand out and be noticed and be different from any of your competition. Blog posts. I use video in my blog posts all the time as well. So we'll have a couple of regular text posts, but then we'll also put a video up that I've got on YouTube as a blog post once a week or so. So it really breaks it up and it helps people kind of stay engaged with you. So the search engines like to display video in their results. So when I do a search on Northwest CPA, this just happens to be one of my clients, in case you need a CPA this time of year, but her videos actually come up on page 1. And the benefit of that is because it's the only thumbnails on that page. So even if you're lower down on the page, I've got some optometrists who are actually down like in the position 9, but it's still the only video on that page. And when you have a thumbnail in the search results, it just draws your eye there. You just kind of can't help but see it. So it's a really great way to leverage your SEO efforts as well. And a lot of times video will get ranked even before a website because the search engines like to mix up their results. So now people search inside YouTube to find what they're looking for, and they might find your videos in the side next to the related videos. So we know that unless somebody's inside your own channel, you have the related videos on the side. And there's a good chance that somebody's going to click on one of your related videos if they're looking for something else. So that's another benefit. And now YouTube has some great tracking features that they just added last year. So there's some great analytics, just like you would get from Google Analytics. They already had some tracking features, but now they've really improved upon that as well. So now we know you can share with your social media posts, and I just found this. This was an amazing, some statistics that I've seen recently. And 500 branded social video campaigns gained more than 1 million views last year. That's a pretty big number. And 1 in 12 campaigns, it worked out to be roughly 1 in every 12 campaigns. So that was a really strong record. So people are really getting into, we already know we have to use social media now to get connected with people. Everybody knows that, but people are still trying to figure out how to most effectively use social media. And everybody's kind of diving in and learning as they go along. Well, if you can incorporate video with your social media campaigns, you're going to rise above everybody else. And we know that people like to share their videos. There's so much video on YouTube that it would take you 400 years to watch every video that's on there. I don't know if I'm going to watch YouTube quite for 400 years. I'm maybe up for the challenge, I don't know. But I watch a lot, but people actually are watching more, TV on their computers and everything else. So, and then we also know that you can watch all of your video on TV now. We've got Google TV, and we've got all these great new things coming out. So it's really going to be interesting over the next few years to see how much more that increases. So here's the latest statistics from YouTube itself. So we've got 800 million unique visitors every month. The demographic is 18 to 54-year-old, not bad. YouTube can be accessed by pretty much any device. Every second, 1 hour of video is uploaded. And when I was first putting these statistics together a while ago, it was, I think it was 8 hours of video a day. And then that just increased and increased and increased. And so we kept seeing more and more and more. And there's a really cool video that kind of explains it all. It's called 1hourpersecond.com that somebody put together. I'm not sure if that was from YouTube. I couldn't watch the whole thing, but it took you through basically an hour. It's like, this is what would happen in this period of time. And it was just really amazing to really get that broad of an understanding and put it in perspective. And there's more than 400 billion videos viewed daily, which is huge. I mean, that's an enormous amount. And we're not talking just all about music, because music really only represents 20% of the videos that are on YouTube. So what's the rest? Well, the rest is content from everybody else, and it's how-to videos, and it's all these other type of things. There's also 400 million video views on YouTube mobile. So when we talk about how you can reach somebody almost anywhere, that's really true when it comes to video. So now, what do you put in your video? This is a question that I get asked all the time. So when I tell somebody we're going to do a video for their website, it's like, oh no, I got to be on camera, And I had one guy that I would go and talk to him, and he kept putting it off. He kept rescheduling, and I finally got it that he just didn't want to be on camera. And I said, that's okay. We can just put your narration, and we'll create a video around your narration. He's like, oh, okay. So you don't necessarily have to be on camera if you don't want to be. You can make a simple slideshow video. You can make it as simple or as high-end as you want. Does anybody in here use like Windows Movie Maker or the Mac iMovie, right? People do that all the time. It can be that simple if you want. And then there's a lot of other higher-end video editing software out there. You could use Sony Vegas or Final Cut Pro or After Effects. So it really depends on what your goal is. But people don't expect video online to necessarily be the same quality that a TV commercial is, but it still has the same impact. So they don't really differentiate between someone they see on video on TV or someone they see on video on the computer. So again, you can do face-to-face, you can do flash animation, there's all kinds of things you can do. So you just think outside the box. There's all kinds of ideas that you can come up with. We create specific video campaigns for people depending on what their goal is. So if you are a business that, a service-related business, one of the things that's really popular is to use your FAQs, okay? Because those are kind of the things that people are searching for anyway. So one of the great ways to design a video campaign is from your search terms. So that's how we do it. We pick keywords that we know that we can get ranked videos for, and we design a video around those keywords. So if you're using your FAQs, and we know those are your frequently asked questions, that's going to build trust and authority with the people that are seeing your videos. you can show people how to do something. Change my garbage disposal, right? So and how to do something is the top phrase, searched in Google. So we know that that's going to be powerful for you. Popular topics in your industry, interesting tips. So if you're trying to get started with a video campaign and you're not really sure, just go ahead and look and see what else is in your industry. And some of the stuff you're going to see and you're going to go, I know I could do better than that guy. Or, I know I might not be as good as that, but I'm not going to be as bad as that, right? So you're going to be fine. I remember when I first started doing video, and I wanted it to be perfect. And I remember getting in front of the camera, and I had my script. Back then, I felt like I was reading from my script. And I must have done my first video 50 times before I said, okay. And now when I meet people, I always try to tell them to be really relaxed and just act like you're talking to your favorite customer or your friend. And once you can be a little more relaxed, your videos come out so much better than, I had one guy that wanted to come, and he was a business coach, and he came and he was a little stiff on camera. I have a doctor that likes to do video. We do a lot of video for him, but he didn't translate. It's not that he's uncomfortable, but he just doesn't translate so well. So we just build video around him, and he's fine with that. He goes, yeah, that'll do better. So do what works best for you. So if you're selling a product, you can shoot a video on how to showcase it. I have a woman who is in another group that I present to that has a bead store. And that would be a great video for her to showcase the beads that she has and how to make something. So that's a great video idea for her. You can, even if you have customers that are using your product, invite them to take some videos. You could run a contest, or just, some people just like being able to submit their videos. We belong to, does anybody know Nerd HQ by any chance? No one. Does anybody know the show Chuck? Nobody knows the show? Okay. So Zach Levi started this online platform called Nerd HQ. And they would invite all of the people that were in part of this tribe to put their videos up. And so it was just really, it's a really great way to get connected to your community and your tribe by having them send you videos, put their videos in your playlist, that sort of thing. So again, if you're a service-oriented business...
Wait, can I stop you for a second? So it's like, you were talking about YouTube till now. Is this like an alternative to YouTube?
No, YouTube's just one video sharing platform.
And Nerd HQ, is that what
Oh no,
it is?
Nerd HQ is just a website for that people, go and visit. It's an example of how they used YouTube and video in one of their campaigns.
I got it, okay.
So they would invite the people that were connected, the members of this specific group, to send in their videos, and then they would post them on their YouTube account.
Okay, kind of the way we're going to post this video from here today on YouTube. Okay.
Right, so it was one way. I thought that was a really great way. It was a really great example of how they showcased their members and their subscribers. So everybody goes in and puts their videos in. We're doing I'm part of the Health and Wellness Committee for the Miranda Chamber of Commerce. And I went out and shot testimonials of some of the kids. They're in a club called the Milers Club. And we're trying to raise funds to build a track because when it rains, it's all muddy and they can't run anymore. And childhood obesity is on the rise, right? And it's increased 43% in the last few years. And here in Arizona, it's a big problem. And we're going to be watch for our commercial, it'll be out soon. We're editing it right now. But I went and got some testimonials of these kids, and it was just great. So one of the ways that I want to build awareness for this particular, we're doing a 5K run, is we're going to put the kids' videos on YouTube, and then I'm going to put them on our social media, on Facebook too. And then I'm going to invite the kids to have people go and vote on their video. So the one that has the most votes and our likes and shares, they're going to win some prize for their costume. Whether it's, I don't really want to do a pizza party because here it is health related. They're going to serve pizza. So we might find something else. Maybe we'll bring in some healthy Subway or something, even though I'm sure the kids would love pizza. But so it's just a way, anytime you can encourage activity and getting people to talk about your videos, it's great. So if you can get video content in from other sources, it's always going to help. So it's got that viral component to it. So let's see. So there's a lot of times, I have a guy that I'm talking to right now about a text campaign, and he has a product that I know nothing about. And, we live in Arizona. There's not a lot of lawn landscaping out here. I've got rocks, in my yard and bricks along the side. So he's got these edgers and trenchers, and I'd never heard of a trencher, and but that's probably because I don't landscape at all. But he's got all these videos on his site, and it was great because I was able to learn about his products right away. And it was just, I really enjoyed that. So people who have, it's like, here's how you would use our trencher. Here's how you would use our edger. And it's like, wow, even I got it, So I need a lot of how-to videos. When I watch a how-to video, it really helps me understand it. So anytime that you can do that with your service, again, you're getting ahead of your competition because you're doing something that most people aren't doing. And it really helps give you that authority, and it helps you become the industry leader when you're answering people's questions and connecting with them on that level. So where should you put your videos? Well, there's a lot of video sharing sites out there, and we've already talked about how you can utilize them on your website, and your blog posts, and social media, and obviously YouTube, and you could even send them out, you can even do video email now. There's platforms that would, if you just want your video embedded in your email, you can do that, or you can just send a link, or software, excuse me. But there's a lot of other video sharing sites out there that people aren't familiar with. We use about 12, but these are some of the popular ones. So there's Dailymotion, there's Vidler, there's Vimeo. Does anybody have a favorite video sharing site they use besides YouTube?
Vimeo, I guess.
Those are pretty much the two most popular. And Vidler, I think, is getting bought right now. So Vimeo is a paid-for site if you're using it for business purposes. So just keep that in mind. So there is a lot of places, and one of the good things about when you're using all these video sharing sites is YouTube doesn't always display a YouTube video. A lot of times they do because they own YouTube, right? But sometimes they're going to display a different video sharing site. And if you click into the videos when you're doing a search on Google and you see all the stuff on the side or up at the top and it'll say videos, you can click straight into there and you will always see some of the other video sharing sites. So you just kind of want to cover all your bases. The other thing is obviously you get backlinks to your website. So whenever you do a video, and this is really important, really critical step that a lot of people miss, is these are high authoritative, high page rank sites. So you always want to start off in your description with your website. And you always want to start with HTTP to make it a clickable link. So by doing that, you're building a backlink to your website as well, which helps you with SEO purposes. And if you're a local business, you always want to add your citation at the end, which is your name, address, and phone number. And that always helps with local search as well. So where do you put your videos? Okay, we kind of covered this pretty much. But again, you can put them on Twitter. You can put them on LinkedIn. You can put them on Facebook. So pretty much any of the video sharing sites you use, if it's PhotoBucket, Flickr. So try to get as much coverage as you can. So, and that's just going to kind of help you cover all your bases, get you more exposure, because you never know where people are searching. So the benefit of video is that it's going to help you get found and get known. And what I mentioned earlier is that a lot of times video will get ranked even faster than your website. So while you're waiting, if you're doing your SEO and waiting for your website to maybe come up on page 1, you might have a video there first. And I see that frequently. So if you've done your homework with your keyword research and you're designing your videos around the keywords, it's really easy to get those videos ranked. And when you get found and get known, then you start becoming the expert in your industry. Oh, look, I'm the only CPA on page 1 with a video. I'm the only landscaper on page 1 with a video. I'm the only your industry here with a video. And the people are going to click into that, and then they're going to see your other related videos, and you really build a lot of trust and authority in relationships. People are getting to know you before they ever even meet you. That's amazing. So again, frequently found in search results. The more video you put out on the internet, the better chance you have of getting found and getting known quickly. So again, going back to the keywords, you want to design a video campaign around, I call them FAQs and SAQs. So you pick your frequently asked questions, and you're going to design some videos around that. But what really helps you stand out among the crowd is the should ask questions. Now I always tell people, people don't know what they don't know, right? So if you can cover the questions that people should be asking, that they don't know to ask, then you really are slick, right? Then you've really got it going on. So I wrote an ebook that was how to get a job working from home. I started working from home in October of 2000. And I constantly had people ask me, how'd you get a job working from home? I'm like, well, actually I prayed really hard and then I got this job is what happened. But there were other things around it, but I worked for several other companies before I started my own company. But I constantly got asked over the years, and I thought, you know what, I'm always answering people one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Then I got smart and I started giving people these websites they could go look at, and then I took it a step further. I'm going to write an ebook about that, that's what I'll do. And then that way I can give everybody all this information instead of saying it over and over and over again. So now I just send people off my ebook. And the thing is, when I was writing it, I wrote it with those FAQs and those SAQs in mind. So it's like, here's the questions that people are always asking me, but here's the questions they don't know to ask me. It's like, should I be a contractor or an employee? How much money do I really need to make? Because if you're giving up your job and you're working from home, you might not have to pay for daycare, you might not have to pay for, going out to lunch or your gas and all that. So they could really kind of figure it out. So if you take that, that idea and turn that into your videos, it's really going to stand out because now you're really answering questions that other people haven't thought of, but it's questions that people need answered. It's things they need to know. So offering up videos that have informative tips or a cool project. I've seen a lot of people document a project that they're working on. I don't know, maybe you're rebuilding a Mustang, Document that, Maybe you sell auto parts and you want to say, here, we're going to show you how to rebuild this Mustang, or a car of your choice if you're not a Ford fan. So you can document pretty much anything and become a leader in your industry. Prove to the audience that you know what you're talking about. You can really do that with video. With video testimonials, I tell this to a lot of my clients, if you can get people that are willing to be on camera to give you a video testimonial. Has anybody here read a review and wondered if it was fake or not? That happens all the time on the internet now. It's gotten a bit corrupt. It's kind of sad. I always tell people, don't let anybody put up fake reviews for you because it's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. But I see it all the time. But if you see somebody talking about your company, it's a lot more credible. So if you can get some of your clients or customers to give you a video testimonial, it's really huge. Nobody can refute that. Maybe you paid them to be on video, but hopefully not. And it's really, again, going to lend a lot of credibility to your business. So again, you can build your relationships with these people before you even enter a building or before they call you. So we do video tips about internet marketing. And so if somebody goes to my YouTube channel, I think we're at the very end now. So we were putting out one tip a week of something different, whether it was how to implement social media, how to use video, how to use SEO, whatever it is. And we did like 20 tips. And then we did a couple of bonus tips. So I think next week is our last one. After 22 weeks, we'll have our last video. And then we'll have to go do a whole nother set. But fortunately in my industry, things change a lot. So I'll always have something to talk about. But people can go there. I actually had a girl from India call me this week. And it's always funny because it's usually the other way around. Oh, I got some guy in India doing my SEO. Well, this woman from India called me to do SEO for her parents' company in Canada. So I thought that was the most global thing that's happened for me personally from that standpoint. Most people are local that I work with, or at least in the United States. So that was kind of interesting. She goes, I saw I was looking how to get something local ranked and your site came up. I went to your YouTube channel and I watched your tips and I saw that you really know what you're talking about. And that was really powerful. So it was like, that's just proof that it works. I had a doctor who hired me. He's like, gosh, I went through all of your videos and I can tell you know what you're talking about. So it's really good when you can hear that, when you can build that rapport with people.
Do you think if they read that in text, they would have the same reaction?
No.
No, right.
That's the thing is it can't possibly translate, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, I can write it, but if you see me speaking about it, it holds a little more power. The other thing is, how many people really read a whole couple paragraphs of text anymore? It just doesn't happen. But all your videos should be, if they're little commercials, should be 2 minutes or less. If it's a how-to video, this IT company I was working with, they had an hour-long demo. So we have to break that up. Now, if you're on a go-to meeting, that's fine. But we're not going to put an hour-long demo out. Nobody's going to sit through that. So what we did is it worked with 4 different components. It was a hardware-independent imaging product. And so what we would do is take people through the different steps. There were basically 4 separate processes in this product. So we would build little snippets out of this. So I would take one piece of it and I'd make a little PowerPoint that talked about what the product did and its benefits. And then we would make a companion piece that showed the software in action. So it was really great. So they got, a couple of videos for each of their keywords, and they've had a couple of thousand views, and it hasn't even been a year. So it's very powerful. And that was something that, even though they weren't on camera, here you've got the one piece that showcases kind of the features and the benefits, but then you've got seeing the actual product in action. So really powerful stuff. So that's kind of what you want to think about, is how can you establish yourself as the expert in your industry. Talk about things, always try to focus on the benefits more than the features. So if that's something that you can talk about, using our product is going to benefit you by. So you always see those anti-aging commercials. And then it won't get caught in spam filter either. That's like the #1 thing caught in spam filter. So when your prospects and customers are getting answers from you instead of your competitors, you're really standing out, right? So if I'm the only one that's talking about how to use video, or if I'm the only one talking about SEO and video, people are going to believe me. I'm probably not, but this guy, I tell you, with the trenchers and the tillers, I was so impressed because I'm like, he must have had 8 videos on his site. I have never seen, this guy is like cutting edge in Kentucky or something. And he's calling me about getting started with a text messaging campaign. And I'm thinking, how am I going to use a text messaging campaign with trenchers and edgers? But I came up with something. So, but they can see that you know what their problems are. And again, go back to, is everybody familiar with the Google keyword tool? Pretty much? Okay. Well, the Google keyword tool, and you can Google it, so it's the Google keyword tool. Most people use it to run an AdWords campaign, but you can also use it to find out how much search volume there is on a specific phrase or topic. So if you use something that you're looking for, you can start kind of broad, and it's going to give you related terms. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at those terms and you're going to say, you want something with significant search volume, but also something that you can rank against. So you're going to look at the search volume, but then you're going to go over to Google and you're also going to look at the competition. Higher search volume, lowest amount of competing pages, and you want to find that sweet spot that's going to bring you views. So one of the challenges is that Google doesn't always give you correct local search volume, so sometimes you have to leave your city out. I would start with the city first and see what I can find, and then if there's really no volume with the geo-targeted term in there, then I take that out. Another thing you can do is look up Google Trends and Google Insights. And Google Trends is going to tell you over the last year, this lady that called me from India, they do crystals and gems and all that kind of stuff. Like the gem show would have been a perfect venue for them, but they're in Canada. And I was asking her if she did a newsletter, and she's like, well, I get a little stuck on what I should put in my newsletters each month. Google Trends is perfect for that because it's going to tell you the search volume month to month. So if somebody is searching higher for rose quartz in May, well then maybe in April or May you want to talk about rose quartz. If somebody's talking about lavender crystals in October, then write about that. So if you're looking at these search trends, it's really going to help you see the spikes and valleys, because if somebody's not really searching for that at that time, you might not want to talk about it. Google Insights is the little magnifying glass. You can go there separately as well, but if you're in the Google keyword tool, there's a little magnifying glass next to the keyword phrase just off to the right. And that's going to give you geo-targeted data, which is helpful. So if you start off with a broad term, and then you can always drill it down, but if you're looking to see, this is helpful too if you're a national or international business, because anytime you want to rank something for a specific area, you're going to get rankings faster than if it's broad. So the more narrow your reach, the less time it's going to take to get ranked. So if we want to rank something in Tucson, it's going to be easier than if we want to rank a term for Arizona. And I have an insurance agent, I think, in Oro Valley. So it was really easy to get this little video on page 1 for Oro Valley Insurance Agent, you know. It was not difficult at all. I think it might have happened overnight, or if not, the same day. Now, getting him ranked for Tucson car insurance is a little bit harder. You know, we've been working for 4 months, but it's a highly, insurance and legal are the 2 most competitive phrases. So if you're in those industries, just be prepared that it could take you up to a year to get the results that you want, because it's really highly competitive. You can spend up to $50 on a click if you're running an AdWords campaign. So when you have that list of keywords available, that's how you want to start designing your videos. And I want to cover one more thing on that. So you want to make your title of your video, I actually have a whole separate thing. This one's kind of the introductory one, and I have more meat in another one, but I wanted to give you an overview here. But you want to put the title of your video to match your keyword phrase, and you want to use it a couple of times in your video as well. So, and then you want to use it in your description. So you can get more business to video. The social aspect of online video is going to allow your audience to respond to your videos, right? So people can comment on your videos. They can share your videos. They can, has anybody ever taken a YouTube video and sent it to somebody else and said, hey, check this out? Happens all the time, right? Okay. Not saying that's necessarily going to happen with business videos. It may, but you don't count on it being viral. You know, if it happens, it's great. But typically, not everybody is searching for the same problem. So there's, you know, certain types of videos that get shared more than everything else, but I won't cover those here right now. But you can strike up conversations with your audience and start building relationships with them and get engaged. So right now, let's see, it was in 2010, maybe October, Google now translates videos with speech to text.
Wow.
So what happened was before, when people would do video campaigns, they would just put music to the background, okay? And do slideshows, and you could get them ranked. It was pretty easy, especially if it was for a non-competitive term. When they added speech to text, that was huge. So now they're listening to the narration, and they're going to rank it accordingly. So that's a really big benefit. So what I always tell everybody is work your keyword phrase in within the first 30 seconds of your video. And these little traffic magnet videos, as I call them, should be 30 seconds to 2 minutes long. If it's longer than that, find a way to split it up, okay? Even if it's 2 minutes, 10 seconds, just find a way to split it up. You'll find a natural way. There'll be a natural break in there, or you'll find something that you can cut out of there. I've had to take videos that we were working on one, and oh my gosh, I only have 30 seconds, and it's 3 minutes long. What am I going to do? You know, so, but we found a way. And then you can always put out another video that relates to that. So if it's part 1 and part 2, when you're putting your descriptions in the video sharing site, you're going to put a link to that video. See part 2 here. And then when you do, when you do part 2, you can say, see part 1 here. And then when you put that up, go back to part 1.
So,
see part 2 here.
So that's just to leverage both videos with the same keywords and descriptions?
Usually it can be maybe 2 different keywords is what I would still use.
Right, or just leverage that specific
But
video.
yeah, and it leverages, the videos leverage each other. You know, it's backlinks basically to even your video, which is really good. So, but you don't want to leave people hanging. And it's okay to, you know, put those videos up in the same day, or if you need to have more time editing and you just want to get the one out, you could even say in the description, or you could put a slide at the end or some text that says, stay tuned for part 2. And now YouTube even has video editing inside there. It used to be that once you uploaded your video, you couldn't make any changes. Now they've added this component for people to edit inside YouTube, which is great, because if you want to change something, or if something's changed about that, you can do that. So that's pretty powerful. Let's see. So you can optimize videos now just as you would any other content on the internet. So if you've ever tried to get something ranked, whether you're doing a blog post or your website or whatever it is, you know, all the basic same SEO principles apply. Only now you can do that with video as well. You know, you could always build backlinks to your videos, but the fact that they do speech to text now is just a really huge bonus. And that's just another reason why it's easier to find videos on page 1. And then again, you see those thumbnails, it just draws your eye. If you see a page that's nothing but text and then you see a picture, you're probably going to click on it. Your eye's definitely going to be drawn to it. That's just psychology, and you know, you can look at the heat maps and you'll see that that's true.
Do you know how detailed the recognition is? Is it voice recognition or?
For the speech to text, it's pretty exact. So yeah, we're very specific about how we build our videos with the exact speech that we put in them. So we will typically try to optimize a video for 1 or 2 keyword phrases. So I'll look at the related phrases for those videos, and we'll start off with one, and then we might work another keyword into there. And what will eventually happen is you're still going to come up for related keyword phrases anyway. So what Google's going to do is give you an exact match. So when you're looking up your competition, first you're going to look at a broad match. And that's going to be this 20 million pages, or 3 million pages, whatever it is. And then you're going to put that phrase in quotations. And when you do that, that gives you your exact match. And that's really the number that counts. Because Google is never going to display an empty page, ever. Okay? And what you can do is when you're looking at these results, they're also going to bold. Have you seen how they bold the keyword that you're looking up? Okay. So that's important too. So you're taking a look at this and you're saying, oh, those keywords don't run together. You know, it's not an exact match, but it's a broad match. So if you have an exact match for that term, you have a better chance of getting higher rankings. Kind of still depends on the age of the page and how well that is optimized and all that, but typically all 10 results on there aren't optimized equally, so you have a pretty good chance if you really look at those 2 components properly, and especially if you're looking at it all in title. So in fact, if you do an all in title search for your phrase, then it's going to tell you, well, we have no exact match, but here's our best guess at what you might want to see, you know. So that's a good way to get a video ranked as well too.
Thank you. Does Google let you see the transcriptions?
Oh, no.
I was going to say because, you know, if you've ever been in video for a long time, transcribing videos, like,
it's painful.
Just as short of hell.
It's painful.
You know, so if they would just do it for you, that'd be amazing.
Many times.
Okay.
But yeah, so typically you want to make it as clear as possible.
Okay.
So, you know, but they have their little robots that do that. So you know, as long as it's not garbled, and you know, you want it to be clear. You want your speech to be clear and crisp anyway. So.
And can they pull this from lyrics and stuff like that for songs or
dialogue?
Well, I would imagine they still do that, but I don't know if it's given the same type of power, right? I mean, because people are looking up music in a different way than they're looking up other type of searches. Even though the search is similar, Google really changes their algorithm daily, and they want to make it as best for the user as possible. So they're always looking for, well, so they say, right? So, you know, don't ask me about Search Plus Your World, but I'm on the evil bandwagon. But that's why I just don't sign in. Takes care of that problem. So we'll see how that goes. Jury's still out for me on that one. But people aren't necessarily trying. A lot of people that are putting music up are either making a slideshow of like a favorite song or something like that. They're not necessarily doing it with the intent of getting it ranked anywhere outside Google. So if it's a different whole psychology when you're trying to build a video to get rankings for it. So you're going to build a specific description for it. You have a 5,000 character description inside YouTube to take advantage of it. I never put 5,000 characters in, ever. I don't have that kind of patience to type that type of a description up. But what I do is I think about the keywords and the related phrases I want to use, and then I also put those in my tags as well. So you can generally put, you know, I would say 4, definitely no more than 6 when you're adding your tags and your description. And at the end of your video, and this is important, you always want to put your call to action. Most videos that I see don't have a call to action, and that's a step that most people miss. So you always want to be able to say, call us, email us, visit our website. You know, if it's all of those, that's fine. If it's one of them, at least one of them, and put that on there. So they have it in the description as well where they can click it, but people need to be told what to do. So when you have your video up there, tell them what you want them to do. Don't make them guess. So I think I shared that last time. I always say, don't make me think. Don't make them think. Just tell them what they want to do. Tell them what your goal is. You know, come to my website and get this. If you have a special offer, it's even more compelling. So like at the end of my videos, it's like, if you enjoyed this tip, please come to my website at www.6degreesseo.com where you can get more information on this tip and 20 more. And then I've got a sign-up form right there where they can sign up to get all my tips. So,
I have another question.
that's fine.
I don't know how to properly word this, but we got a lot of traffic to our video because it latched on to another video that was somewhat similar to ours.
Okay.
Do you know if there's any strategy to that in terms of keywords or something so that you can try and latch onto other videos so that your video is almost an advertisement? Because they give you, like if you go to YouTube and you have that video, and for instance it was Joy of Books and it showed this video about books and this great animation, and then it put our video right next to it with another list of videos that people might also be interested in. It turned out giving us, I think, like a good couple thousand views,
Okay.
and was a great
Right.
form of traffic for us. So I'm just wondering if there's a way to instigate that.
There is. There's two ways you can do that. One is you can do a search before you start and see what those videos are that have the highest volume, that have the highest amount of views, and you can look at the tags that they're using. Okay, so people are finding them through their tags and through their description and through their title. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do is look at their title, their description, and their tags. And then you're going to use similar. Yeah. You know, copy what works, right? So you're not copying their content, but why reinvent the wheel is the whole point, right? And that's a strategy that a lot of people use. So if you can use the same tags, and there's some tools out there that'll even, there's automated tools out there that'll even give you that information. And then the other one is you can run ads. So one of the things that people do now is when you're inside YouTube and you're designing an ad and you tell it what type of keyword phrases that you want, and if that person has ads set up on their video, because they're going to get money for it, it's going to go on the bottom third. So you get that as well. So, and it's bidding just like you do on AdWords. So, and you can even run those on your own site and only your own site if you want to, which are actually kind of powerful on your own YouTube channel. And you can get your own ads for like a penny. So.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is what do you tell your customers about the YouTube channel partnership?
It's expensive, and you have to have a lot of traffic. So you're not going to get there until you have that traffic.
Right.
You have
So
to
you're
have
like a real
certain
video
requirements.
production house.
Yeah, I'm not. It's going to take me a while to get to be a YouTube channel partner.
Okay.
But it used to be. I mean, basically you can change the design, but they've just changed their design again recently, which I really don't like personally, but because I have a really nice YouTube background, and now I won't be able to use that anymore after March, and so that's kind of unfortunate. I'll have to go redesign everything.
Right.
And I'm not a fan of the timeline. I like the featured video, but gotta roll with the punches.
Until you're a YouTube partner, right?
They're not gonna listen to me.
Okay.
So the YouTube partnership forces you to take on the new YouTube format?
No, they're changing that in March. Everybody has to take on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
I know, right? Let's get my petition out. It used to be I was taking everybody and saying, no, go back, all my clients I have, go back to the old, because I designed YouTube backgrounds for them that fit.
Yeah.
Oops.
And then now, right, I know.
There should be a lot of backlash on that because it seems like I look at Home Depot, I look at all of the do-it-yourself YouTube channels, they all have their personable pages.
Right. Well, you can already, they were able to design it in a different way because they were a channel partner. And then I had to design mine in a different way because I was a non-channel partner where I uploaded the background with specific dimensions. But it's like, here was the subscribe, everything has pointing towards the subscribe button, and now that makes no sense because it's just a funny arrow that doesn't point to anything. So now it's like, okay, great. Well, I have until like mid-March, I think it's March 7th, March 17th, somewhere in there. It's somewhere in March that they're going to make it. You just have to use that. But, you know, first it was Facebook in the timeline, and now we've got, you know, these two are going to be the Hatfields and McCoys forever. So it's like, you know, it's a wait for them to duke it out. But yeah, I wish they would just leave it alone. You know, sometimes it's like, don't fix what's not broken. So can't you learn from what everybody else has done when you get on this, like the whole Google Plus thing? We didn't want another social media platform.
We didn't want new code.
Yeah, we don't want new code.
Yeah.
We don't the new Netflix thing. We don't want that. It's like people, I study that all the time. It's like, listen to your customers. But, Google just wants to force us to do what they want us to do. So I don't know how much they're going to listen to us, but maybe.
Do you think it's smart to monetize on ads for videos, or do you think that it turns people off too much? Because once you hit a certain amount of views, you get the option in the video manager.
Right. Yeah, that's happened to me. I haven't adopted it yet, but I've been offered to do that because I have a couple of different views. My work at home ebook had like 5,000 views. I was like, oh, you can add. I'm like, I'm not even gonna, That was on my personal channel, and I really wasn't interested in that. And on my business channel, I really don't want to take away from that either. So there's no benefit, in my opinion, for a business to run it unless they have a product that they're launching. If it was awareness or for branding purposes, then maybe. But I'm a fan of just letting your message speak. And if you do want to do it, I would really make it on a case-by-case basis. I recommend it, I think, to 1 or 2 people, but it's really, for me, a case-by-case basis. And I look at what their goals are, and because, you're not going to get rich. It's just like AdSense. A friend told me a story. This guy ran AdSense, and he was so excited when he got his first 90 cents. And I'm like, really? That is not going to excite me ever. I mean, ever. Woo! It's just like, but he'd been trying to make money online for a long time. Like one of the multi-level marketing and network marketing kind of companies, and he'd been trying, and he'd always lost money. So for him, just that 90 cents that he made was so monumental. It's like, whoa, I finally made money online. It's like, I don't even think that worked out to what, 15 cents a year now you're up to. So, yay. But so you're not going to be hugely successful unless you have a lot of videos in there and you have a lot of views so that, people are really seeing that. It's just, I've never been a fan of AdSense. I never recommend people run ads on that network. If you're going to do pay-per-click, I always turn the ad network off. But you can get a little more targeted, though, in there. But, yeah, sorry, I'd have to give me a certain case study. Then I would be able to get a little better answer for you there.
With the keyword research, is there a way to specifically just do your research on video only? Do you do that within YouTube?
Yes, and if you hire me, I will do that for you. I have a specific formula that we developed for that. So we do that for our clients. Sorry, I can't. Unless you hired us just to do keyword research. In that case, I could help you because I do that as well.
Sorry, I'm throwing a lot of
Oh no, that's great.
For subscriptions, do you recommend looking for subscribers? I mean, is that something that you find worthwhile, or
It depends on the product. So it depends on what you're selling, and there's actually automated tools for that as well, where you can go in and you can do it manually too. So you can go look at other people's subscribers, and it depends on what kind of privacy controls they have. So, and then there's certain tools that it doesn't matter what their privacy controls are. You can just, it'll just pull it for you. But if it's when you're first trying to get your name out there, it's just like kind of in Facebook where you're going to different groups to get involved in. So within YouTube, you can go look at other people's channels and either become friends with them or subscribe to them. Hopefully they'll subscribe back to you and get engaged, just like you would in any other social media network. So start putting comments there, and then when people go and view that, maybe they're going to come and subscribe to your channel. You can ask people to share that video, but you can go in, if you see their friends or if you see their subscribers, some people have that publicized. Well, actually, I would have to look at that now that they're changing the timeline. I don't know if you'll see that anymore. But it used to be that you could see that, and you could go in to that person's channel, and then again, it depends on that level of engagement. So if it's somebody like, I was just cleaning out my subscribers the other day, I call him a troll. I have somebody that every time I put a video out, he gives me a thumbs down, and he irritates me. It's like, and I know he subscribes me because I get it almost instantly. I get it within a day. And you can't tell me that every single one of my videos, I know somebody is out there hating me. I let it But
Hard.
it's like,
Red.
I want to say, who's doing that? Who's doing that to
Someone
me?
else who makes similar videos.
Yeah, right? I know, because I know some of my subscribers, one of them was mad at me for a while. I thought maybe it was them, but they just called me last week, so I said, okay. But the thing is, you can go in and you can look. So if they have, depending on how they have it set up, you might even see it. But this person is smart enough; they have it turned off. But so, because you can see, oh, so and so liked this or so and so liked that. So that's it is good to be able to help build your subscriber base. Ours is built mostly organically, but again, it's by getting your videos out in as many places as possible. And then if you can subscribe to other people's channels, and look and see how long it's been since they've logged in, or their activity level. Because if it's a subscriber that's just not active at all, they're not putting new stuff out, nobody's coming to their channel anyway, so that's not really going to help you. I mean, you might enjoy their channel, maybe some of the videos that they've put out, but if you're looking at it from a purely business standpoint, that's not going to help you too much. So definitely look for the channels that are active and subscribe to them and get engaged.
And do you send your videos out to your subscribers, or do you just let them look for them themselves?
I've done both. A lot of people I know can have an email sent. I think a lot of my people do, because I'll get messages from them. Oh, I saw your video, great. Okay, so it depends on how they have that selected, but right now I don't. It's just one of those things that, from a time standpoint for me, I haven't found that that's going to be hugely beneficial. So, since my video, I have more visits to my blog, and I have every time I put a video out, I put it on my blog. So, and then my blog is hooked up to Facebook, so then they'll see it there too, and then I put my links on Twitter to my videos too. So, it's kind of have everything connected. So the more you can get those connections going, then you're going to get more traffic and more response, more exposure. Yes. Always fun to be here.
Well, thank you once again. We'll get this video on YouTube right away.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's talk about it. Wait, we might need to do some editing in there.